Hello, it's Brownie time. Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel, and again we thank you for always tuning in, and happy Friday!
Now our episodes will launch every Friday. So welcome to another episode of
Brownie time!
It's me, Brother Reginald.
And it's me again, Brother Robert. I hope you still remember us.
We hope everyone had a good week as usual. The weekend is upon us, so sit back and relax and enjoy the weekend safely.
We received some really wonderful feedbacks from you guys. We thank you for giving us positive feedbacks in our last episode about discernment, vocation discernment. Yeah, continue to support us. Comment down your opinions, suggestions for our future episode. And in the meantime, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and tell your friends about us.
This channel allows us to spread more information about our Carmelite way of life, what it's like to be a Carmelite friar, Carmelite spirituality, so many good things to talk about.
I think it's a dream come true for other people because they are really expecting, they're really asking for this kind of activity, a YouTube channel, especially for the Carmelite spirituality, because it's not always that people can find a content in a YouTube channel about Carmelite spirituality.
I think the other religious orders are very good at putting out this sort of information. We're a bit slow to get behind, but hopefully we'll catch up.
Yeah, actually we are very thankful that Brother Reginald is with us. He's doing a lot of research to improve our YouTube channel and to,
So I do research by looking at more YouTube videos and well, moving on. So speaking of feedback, I got a question from a viewer. And Leroy of Singapore has sent us a question. So, Brother Robert.
Brother Leroy asked this question to us. Dear brother, I am facing a dilemma between the secular priesthood and the religious life. So what advice can you give me? Regarding your question, I think the Holy Spirit will guide you. You know yourself. You know what you want. For me, when you pray, if you're really discerning for this, if you have difficulty in this kind of, if you have dilemma in this kind of situations, like choosing whether to become a diocesan or a religious, they offer different things, and it's up to you where you are. Where you feel at home.
I like that you said it's where you feel at home. I came from a different congregation before. We were a society of apostolic life, but in functioning we were almost like the secular clergy. I really liked that environment, but at the same time I knew that our seminary formation, in fact I say that I always tell people that I like seminary formation too much, but they always say that no one is ordained before the seminary. After ordination you go out into the parishes, whereas I like that environment of having brothers around, this community life. And so for me, I think religious life was a better fit. You're comparing two different things here. The goal of religious life is to make solemn profession, where you profess publicly the evangelical counsels. That is our main goal that we're looking for. And priesthood is something, like we said, I think, did we say it in the previous episode? It's something added on to the religious life.
Some of my friends would say it's a bonus. Priesthood is a bonus already. But the main goal of being a religious is to have that.
So the perfection of charity.
Yeah.
But it is a public statement that you're making in front of the church that you want to pursue the perfection of charity. My personal approach to it is that if the superiors told me tomorrow, Brother Reginald, you will remain a brother and you will not be ordained a priest, I'm perfectly happy with that. I'm here because I want to be a religious. If they take me for the priesthood, okay. If not, okay.
Okay, so going back, brother, to the question, actually, I find it difficult to answer this because I have not experienced the life in the seminary. I intended to become a diocesan priest. So, for me, you need to pray first for it, and then, as what I have said, if you feel at home to become a diocesan, then go for it. If you feel like in your prayer, when you feel like you're at home in a religious community, then go for it.
Well, if you have any more questions, and if viewers out there have any more questions, feel free to comment below. And it's like, those radio request shows, and then we will answer your requests. But
So speaking of religious life, we come to the subject of today's episode.
What do religious...
Take two. What do religious do all day?
I get this question a lot. People, sometimes I do things out of the ordinary, and they say, I thought you stay at home and you pray all day, you don't go out. I'm surprised to see you in public. What is this all about? I think there are two extremes of the stereotype. Number one, religious don't do anything at all. We stay in our monastery, we eat, we sleep, that's it. The other extreme is that we pray all day.
So actually, many of my friends, when I decided to enter the religious life, they are more worried. Actually, they were thinking that I might not be able to survive in the life in the monastery because, before joining, I am very a secular person. Parang I go out, I party, something like that. They are thinking that if you are in a religious community, all you do is like pray, you're quiet, you don't talk to one another, life is boring, you don't play, something like that.
Yeah. I find that I'm really busy now that lockdown has happened. I have so much school assignments, thank you UST. Lots of assignments, and of course keeping up doing the editing, the planning for our YouTube channel, that takes up a lot of time. In relation to the earlier question, routine. This is the big part of religious life. In seminary, for the diocesan priesthood, the secular priesthood, you will follow the routine for your seminary life, but after that you're sort of, it's up to you what you want to do. But for us, our routine is there from day one
up to the end.
When the routine only ends when you go down into the ground and then you're dispensed from the horarium daily. We rise in the morning, we say our prayers, we go for mass, we have our various activities, we have lunch, pray again. The day repeats itself every day, all 365.
Yeah. That's why most of the people, brother, are actually asking, don't you find your life there as boring, something like that, routinary, because you keep on repeating the things that you've done? But actually, if you are already in that situation, if you are already following the horarium, every day is not the same. Although we're following the same horarium or routine, but I don't know if you understand it, but every day is different. So you cannot say...
Same, but different.
Yeah, different.
This question of what do religious do all day, it also applies to different communities differently. Like for example, even in the Carmelite order, the routine of the student house is different from the routine of the postulancy, is different to the novitiate, to the parish communities. It's really different. But within these differences, there are more or less 4 things that remain the same. We have prayer, we have study, we have work, and we have community life. So these are the 4 constants that will be with you in whichever community you are. Yeah. Prayer is the first thing that we do when we get up. When the bell calls, it is time to go down to the chapel for morning prayer, for Lord's, Mass. As Carmelites, we have the addition of mental prayer, 1 hour of mental prayer in the morning, day prayer, and then the evening prayer, Vespers, also again followed by the extra hour of mental prayer. We do 2 hours of mental prayer. We close the day off with prayer forms the skeleton of our day.
Now, of course, you are also maybe wondering about the study. So, as a religious, we are also asked to study, especially for theology and philosophy, because these things will prepare us. So, here in the Discalced Carmelites, after passing the novitiate, you will go immediately to the student house. If you are a graduate of a philosophy course, then you proceed to the theology class. But if not, like me in my case, because I'm not a graduate of philosophy, I have to take 2 years of philosophy before proceeding to the theology. In your personal relationship.
We cannot love what we do not know, and the more you know about God, the more you love.
But I tell you, it's really challenging once you start.
Lots of assignments due in the coming weeks, despite the fact that it's in lockdown. And
but for him, that's a piece of cake.
God help us all.
Very smart.
Big thing in our life also is work.
What is that? Yeah, work.
Work/apostolate. So what we're doing now, this online apostolate, it's part of our work as well. I mean, I'll give you viewers a little inside information. Just to produce like an 11-minute episode takes a lot of time. Yeah, you film, and then you edit, and then you spend late nights. But it's okay. This is for the glory of God.
Yeah,
for the glory of the
that's
order.
right.
It's particularly rewarding to know, especially when people get back to us to say that what you said in such and such an episode really helped me. It really helped my way of thinking, helped me my discernment, especially with the last episode.
Yeah.
That really, if our hours of work manages to help someone out there, I think we've done a pretty good job. I think it's important for us also as students, the way we approach the apostolate, how we approach it now as students, is how we will approach it in the future as priests, for example. If we're lazy now, then if you're a lazy student, you'll be a lazy priest. So I think it's not good. Viewers, if you do not know or if you don't know, our house is an international house. And so this gives us a great exposure to people all around, which leads to our next topic, community life.
Community life, okay.
So if you're in religious life, you're in community life.
Your community, they will do two things for me. First is to challenge me, and the second is to support me. So first, challenge because, of course, you get to know many people with different personalities. And it takes, for me, humility for you to get along with a brother or with a friar, something like that. And also, the advantage naman if you have a community is that when you feel lonely, if you miss home, or if you have problems with the school, like Brother Reggie, we ask him for help every time.
I was going to ask.
Every time we need someone to help us for our philosophy assignments and like that. And the most important thing is when you feel down, if you are in crisis, so you have brothers to remind you that you are not alone in this journey towards union with God.
And community life at the end of the day is a family. You cannot choose the members of the family that you're born into. In the same as religious life, you come in, you accept whoever's here. You don't get to choose who your brothers are. And with the Carmelites, you're on rotation every 3 years. So once you're out of initial formation, you'll get assigned to a monastery, assignment for 3 years. And you rotate within, so you get to experience everyone within in the province, for example. When I had to go through the interview process before joining Carmel, the priest who gave him an interview, and he told me, you will look at every friar in the congregation and no one will be the same. So don't expect each one to have come from the same position where you're at. And I found that to be the most exciting part of Carmel. You get a different flavor every day. You'll always be challenged, always be entertained. Life in Carmel is, for me, it's better than watching TV shows. Because there's drama, there's comedy, sadness, there's happiness, in the whole range of emotions are there. And it's great. It's wonderful to be alive in Carmel. So, we hope what we've shared with you today gives you an idea into what we do as friars. I mean, we didn't want to give you like a full horarium of what we do from morning to rising, but rather elements of the friar's life. Each community is varied in its way, but all these elements will be in there. So again, if you have any further questions, feel free to drop them in and we'll do our best to respond. So stay tuned for next
episode.
So until then, see you!
I wonder if